What do you think about Richard's tweet talking about the? I think it's what was it? We're getting close to the SEC bottom from last year.
I think it's just he's opening the door for you to start to like want to look to DCA with size. I think that's what that is. I don't think there's any particular reason beyond that why, hey, it's us.
Nice.
Why why you need to say that, okay, that is, he's telling us right now this is a bottom, but just more, it's been seen by 150K people or views. And so we're at that level where it's like, well, these are the typically where you see double bottoms or like levels to hold. And when we look at Pulse, this was a nice buyback the day after that happened. So this is more optimistic than the Hex price right now, because Hex is like, I think, totally dependent on what Pulse is doing. So Pulse is the leader here, the driver, but it's still, you're still catching a falling knife inside of here. But it got a nice bounce here though. So, I don't know. We bounced in the past with Pulse as well. So do I think that this is him bottom calling? Maybe, but what that looks like then is like 6 weeks of just grind and sideways action. Like it's something like this would be totally normal, and then start to build out and then go higher, by this is already October for reference. So, I mean, this could take time, right? For us to come test this upper band and then, fart around and then start to build structure out of here. So this bottom is going to take time. It's not going to be like you wake up tomorrow and it's up like a 50x or something. It's just not going to happen.
That's right on character for Richard. Things being patient for things, waiting for time to happen.
Exactly.
Yeah, I could see that. I think a lot of people get excited about when they see him post charts and otherwise, but I think you make a great point of, even if he is hinting that it could be the bottom or otherwise, it's not going to be like, all right, tomorrow we start going up, just as you talked about.
Yeah, this last time when it actually bottomed, it took 53 days just to even get some like serious parabolic movement. So that put us at like September, which I'm cool with that time frame. But I'm also prepared for not getting any movement till next year too. So maybe that's how you should be playing this too, DCAing as you can, and if you can and you want to really, but just not expecting this thing to pump like overnight.
Wouldn't it be symbolic if it's basically
like good texture?
It will not go below SEC lows, like for spirit reasons, because we will win. It will not go below those lows.
And I don't know if I think if he won, if the SEC thing was like it was history today, I don't think that would result in a big pump necessarily. I think like it's going to take time still. Like I think we still need more time.
Well, what are the biggest things? Because that's an interesting thing to say though too, because a lot of people believe that the SEC is holding a lot of the capital liquidity back. People are afraid that uncertainty, right? Good decision, bad decision, otherwise. Retail not coming in, ETH not pumping yet. SEC, are those all things that are holding capital back in PulseChain right
now? Yes, it is. But I just don't think, I think it'd be sloppy though at best, because you'd have this mishmash of believers and non-believers still buying and selling. So like you could have like big bag holders, like let's say Clarity tomorrow, big pump, big dump. You know what I mean? Because like not everybody that's got bags really cares about that or is paying attention, and they're just going to sell the first rally. We even saw that here where, we got a nice first rally and it almost did a full retracement. But this type of stuff is going to be harder to do the longer this goes sideways inside of here and compresses.
What are we looking for as towards this? Like, are there things buy the rumor, sell the news events in our ecosystem? Like if we see Godwell tweet, is that like, what are some things where we're like, okay, this could lead up to something, but then like you said, it could be, a dump afterwards.
I don't know. I just like to look at the technicals and forget all that, because that's not going to really, things are going to be said and happen, and it's too hard to predict the timing and what the impact will be of things of that nature.
Well, for example, October, the next big date when they actually argue the case.
Yeah, well, you know what makes a bigger impact, I think, is when buying activity comes with size, though. Not like these little buys, like, 20K, like we need like $100 million enters the PulseChain bridge. Now that would be an event. I don't think like guy makes a tweet is going to do it anymore. I think people are tired of that. But I do. This is all like completely speculation and some of my expertise. Like, I like reading the market psychology of it, but like more importantly is like I can look at this historical volatility and say, look, this is a technical falling wedge, which is where data points bounce around inside of this type of structure, and then it pops out, and this marks that volatility is about to enter the market because we just broke out of this type of structure. So you go look at what a falling wedge is, and that's typically what you see as a bullish reversal structure. But in the context of this being volatility, it means that things are about to swing around in either direction. So volatility is rising. You're on this massive positive slope, and that's because when you look at the price chart, we had big spike down. And if I go into like a 4-hour, you're going to see it. So we had like big spike down, minus 22% in 9 days. And then just in the last day, it's like up 10%. So like the more that this chops up and down, that's really signaling that volatility. So the question then becomes, are we going to see a massive spike down or a massive pump? And no matter what, in my mind, even if we get the big spike down, it's going to revert to the mean. If we get the big pump up, it's going to revert to the mean, because we're still on this type of a trend where you're fighting this slide right here. So this is this is the time component that no matter what happens in terms of volatility, you have to be prepared for either situation. So if we get a big pump, big dump down, you're there to buy that dip. Maybe you have limit orders in, maybe, or however you want to play that. Or if we get a big pump, perhaps you're prepared to like take a little bit off so that you can buy back the retracement back to the mean. And that's what the so this is good though, because this is progress from before, where we were just getting like a declining in volatility. See how this was, the volatility was just declining. And what that resulted in was just like steady, slow, boring downwards price action, but at a decreasing rate, where it kind of went more, it's getting flatter and flatter, signaling that a bottom is coming potentially. Yeah. So there's that element for sure.